Blitch.
Last week, Quake Stacy Blitch was named female captain of Lisa Seltzer's tour, which left her teammates bewildered.
If being a captain on the tour is so important, maybe I have to pick a new girls captain. I'm going to put Jamie in charge of the girls team tonight.
I really don't care about being captain. I just wish Stacy would wake up and smell the cappuccino. I mean, Lisa Seltzer doesn't care about anything except for making money, maybe getting a little sick from Jason McDaniel.
Once again, plates are shifting within the Quake fault lines.
The Quakes don't understand. This is a great business opportunity. Nothing personal, but I'd rather be touring the world and making money than being stuck in this league forever.
Forever is a very long time.
This leaves them wide open for an aerial attack.
At first glance, you might refer to me as the Rodman Roller Jam. But as I fly through the air, they know right away that I'm just like Mike.
Which is exactly the type of punishment that King got when he attempted to infiltrate the Ack Attack's space.
Ack Attack, no one knocks out the King and get away with it. I hope you like the taste of leather, jerk.
The King wants revenge, but his arsenal is almost non-existent after he fired Ray Robles and Bill Barker.
Get out! That twerp Bill Barker almost got me killed last week. I don't need him. I don't need Ray Robles. I don't need anyone but the King and my briefcase.
He's obviously still suffering from head trauma. It's the Riot and the Quakes next on Roller Jam. Everybody from Roller Jam Arena. I'm Rory Marcus along with Mark Lloyd. Tonight, it's the California Quakes and the Illinois Riot with a little bit of a pall kind of cast over the league at the moment because of Lisa Seltzer, the great-granddaughter of this game's founder, Leo Seltzer. The fact that she's putting together an all-star team named Jason McDaniel of the Dice and not Shea Brown. Stacy Blitch instead.
The wonderful and talented Jason McDaniel.
Oh, what a shot that is.
At this time, I'd like to announce the women's team captain, and that is none other than Stacy Blitch.
Whoa!
Congratulations!
That was the surprise because you'd expect her to take Shea Brown and an entire Hot Dice team. Instead, Stacy Blitch.
Yeah, one person at a time. She's destroying the league, Roy. You mentioned it. There is a cloud over the WSL right now. And you know what? If they don't stop Lisa Seltzer with this touring team, taking away each great player from each team, it's going to destroy the league. It's going to go right down the tubes.
And I don't think there's any question she'll probably have her eye on somebody here in tonight's game, the Riot and the Quakes. How the heck are the Quakes going to beat them with the dissension they have in their ranks? Right now, let's take a look at the Illinois Riot. And the first one on the ramp is Mo Sanders. Sanders.
And you know what, Roy? He might be one of those guys that Lisa will take in the second period. Mo Sanders, obviously he's qualified.
I don't know if you can have two jammers helmets big enough for Mo Sanders and Jason McDaniel on the same team. Lisa Seltzer has promised us a second period announcement about her world tour team. And Denise Loden takes to the track. The Oral Authority is not quite the same tonight because Amy Craig is out with an injury. Speaking of injuries, Mark, you remember what happened the last time the Riot were on the track and Richard Brown had signed Bill Barker and then fired him in the middle of the game as you see Laura Weintraub come out. And what happened? Richard Brown had to put the skates on with his suit and go out there and try and win the game. He almost got knocked out. He did get knocked out.
I thought he was going to die out there, and our own Broadway was just going to let him die also, Rory. Wasn't even going to help the guy.
I was trying to convince Broadway to help this man right here. King Richard Brown. Yeah! Pleasantly attired once again tonight. I always enjoy the black tennis shoes he wears with his suits.
You know what, though, Roy? Would you save a man that dressed like that? And to top it off, you're right, the black tennis shoes.
Let's take a look. Now, I want to remind everybody about what happened to Richard last time the Riot were skating, and he put those skates on with his suit, and it really didn't turn out very well for Richard.
No, it did not. It took the boom right on top, him laying down there.
Sean Atkinson with the trash can, and then this is the one that I think knocked him cold. Danny, give him mouth to mouth.
No, I'm not going to get mouth.
Danny had a chance to save a life. Luckily, the king was revived, and eventually he was all right.
And you know what? The what would Richard do didn't work, did it, Rory?
No.
Those bracelets they had.
Didn't seem to. Now, tonight, Richard is up against it again as the Riot going up against the California Quakes, and Sean Atkinson once again. And the new captain of the women's team, Jamie Konomak. Stacy Blitch is not the captain anymore since she has promised to go on that tour. Konomak, though, is a great jammer, tremendous player. Stacy Blitch is still skating with this team, but she's not the captain.
No, and that's one of the problems right now with what Lisa Seltzer's doing. She's dividing teams, Roy. I mean, Stacy Blitch, Janie Konomak, they're all so tight. They're her best friend, and now she could care less about them.
Stacy Blitch comes out kind of pumping that personalized helmet of hers. She looks like she's in a pretty good mood anyway.
Well, wouldn't you be? I mean, she's the one who's going to make all the money, become famous. She's leaving her teammates behind.
That's a good point. Here comes Atkinson, and Atkinson does have on the Quakes hat. Turned it around backwards, and out he skates.
That means he's the leader. That's what it's all about. That's what the WSL's about. Sean Atkinson.
He just tried to go by and knock the Kings the crown off. I'm speechless. Posse Shalane. Crowd loves him, don't they? What a great skater.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he's kind of underrated in that aspect. They look at him as a big body and powerful, but boy, he has some nifty moves out there, Roy. He could go in and out, zig and zag, do whatever it takes to get the point.
The rest of the Quakes coming out. We saw Eric Slopey a moment ago, Tom Smith. And now, Bill Barker.
What?
Bill Barker, who was fired by King Richard Brown in their last game, is now a member of the Quakes.
What does Barker do? Just jump around from team to team? I mean, why would the Quakes want Barker?
I guess to get a little muscle out there. It seems like he's been on just about every team in the league so far, and now he's a member of the California Quakes. Stacy Blitch is definitely on thin ice, though, with the Quakes. Let's find out more. Broadway Danny Wolf is with Stacy.
Oh, I think she's on big-time thin ice. Stacy, you are the captain of the touring team. We know that. But with the Quakes, we saw Jamie Konomak come out first. Did Sean strip you of your captaincy with the team?
You know what? Sean's always wanted control of this team, and now he has it. I'm going to concentrate my efforts on making this tour a success.
Yeah, let me ask you about the helmet. You're not wearing or holding the usual Quake helmet. What's with the Malibu, Stacy?
This Malibu helmet is going to promote safety for little girls who ride bikes, who are in extreme sports, skateboarding. It's also going to be a big thing on the tour. We're going to sell this thing. Me and Lisa Seltzer are going to sell this thing, and we are going to totally promote this tour.
Yeah, Sean, I hear you mention the word sell.
Here's the problem what I have with Stacy's comments. Number one, the California Quake helmet, if you're going to sell any helmet, should be the California Quake helmet with everybody's signature on it, not just Stacy Blitch, okay? Stacy, 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 and you say I try to control the team? Let me tell you, I controlled it to 2 championships, okay? Give me a break, sister.
Back to you, Roy.
Thanks, Jenny. I guess money comes first to some modern-day athletes, and Stacy Blitch has signed on to that thinking. We're just about ready to skate and ready to rock here at Roller Jam Arena, and it's the Quakes against the Riot tonight. The women are on the track, about to start period number 1, and spinning into your living room is number 27, Jamie Konomak. She's the new captain of this team, one of the original Bod Squad members, and she always scores a lot of points for this team, having to pick up the slack team captain-wise. And here we go for the Riot, Laura Weintraub, one of the Oral Authority. She'll do a lot of jamming tonight. They call her the Pussycat, and I think you can see why. No explanation is needed when you take a look at Laura Weintraub. Now, Stacy Blitch has made her statement as far as this sport is concerned, I think. And let's get a reaction from Denise Loden. Danny?
All right, thank you. And we all know Stacy Blitch is very happy to be the star of this touring team, but would Lips Loden be interested in touring with Stacy?
You know, Danny, although you and I both know that I'd rather pour sand spurs in my underwear than team up with anything with Stacy Blitch, if teaming up with Blitch is what it means to go on this tour, then so be it. But there's one difference between Stacy and I. If I were to go on the tour, first of all, I'd make sure that my entire team went. but I guess that's because I'm not a self-promoting, self-righteous, self-centered, too much junk in the trunk having, sell-out bitch like Stacy Blitch. And as far as safety goes, I care about safety. The Oral Authority, we have our own line of knee pads out.
Good, Denise and Rory. What is sand spurs in the butt? Clarify.
What is it? Well, Mark will have to talk to you about that.
Oh, yeah, right. I knew I was going to get brought into that.
Yeah, oh, you bet. Well, the safety equipment is intact, and here we go. The first period is underway, and Denise Loden jumps out there on that first jam against Conomac. And with Amy Craig out with a knee injury tonight, that means Gina Lombardo's probably going to be jamming more, and she just tasted the track for her efforts. Denise Loden and Stacy Blitch now, the two jammers that have a chance to score points. And you notice Blitch promoting herself with that blue helmet on, and Denise Loden just went right through the pack. She turns around to face Blitch, looks for Conomac, finds Blitch instead. Jamie got through and scored some points, and let's see what they get. Now right in front of us, Denise Loden is saying, come on, and there they go. This is round one of what's going to be a 12-round main event tonight.
And she's already using her new helmet just then. She didn't want to drop that new personalized helmet. Instead, she was swinging it and knocking it unloaded.
You see the jammers jump out of there. 3 of the 4 got out. And if they can lap members of the opposing team, they'll get points. And that would be Cindy Zimmerman and Jamie Conomac right now. And they separate themselves from the pack and try and pass members of the Riot. 2 of the 3 original Mod Squad members, although that seems like a long time ago, the way they're all splintered now. Conomac and Zimmerman come up to the arm waving and elbow flying of Denise Loden. She takes a look back at Conomac and Zimmerman. She's covering that whole track. See how she skates down the middle of that track and keeps those arms moving. But now Blitch has a hold of her and is bringing her in toward the infield and shoves her into the wall. Knocks them all down. Every one of the Riot team went down off that bench.
You could call that a strike right down the middle just did. Look at Stacy controlling her right in there. She can't get on the headlock, and bam! She even got King Richard there.
The King went backwards. He didn't fall down, luckily for that lime green suit. I guess that's the color of that thing. That color doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
It's 10-7. The Quakes are ahead of the Riot. And there they go once again. Weintraub, Loden, Blitch, Conomac. Watch out for these 4 ladies all night. Here's the whip for Laura Weintraub, and right through the middle she goes. Conomac goes down. Blitch goes up against the rail, and now Denise Loden and Laura Weintraub turn on the jets, and they're talking it over as they skate up to the back of the pack.
Weintraub's out there jamming because their number 1 jam, Amy Craig's out.
Loden over the top. Weintraub around and through him. And the points are racked up for the Riot. Big jam for the Riot. Look at Denise going after Stacy again. Here they go one more time. Up against the rail. Denise went down hard on her back. Lisa Seltzer, I'm sure, in the building. We're going to hear from her soon. She has promised us, and she's probably got that disgusted sourpuss look on her face.
And there's Denise going over, nailing Stacy there, enabling Weintraub to go by, get the points. Nice awareness by Weintraub.
Almost as though on cue, Lisa Seltzer has come into the infield. Broadway Danny Wolf is there with her.
Lisa Seltzer, thank you for coming in here. This is the first time we've seen you since the big announcement last week. Now, your announcement of the tour certainly thrilled Stacy. I mean, she's really into the glory and the fame of this big world tour. Jason McDaniel, on the other hand, had some concerns. I think he wanted his whole Riot team, the Hot Dice team to go.
Well, Danny, Jason really needs to leave the business end of things to me, and he'll learn that in time. Right now, I'm just really excited to have him on board. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today, I'm here to announce the newest signing to our team. I wanted to bring back the excitement and the glory of the old days, so I got a star from the glory days, Mr. Ray Robles.
Wow!
Robles!
Ray Robles!
He was fired by Richard
Here
Brown.
comes Ray Robles. Just name, he was fired from the Riot.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. He's He's wonderful. And since the show's now being aired through Central and South America, where Ray is a legend, we're just really happy to have him on board, and the fans are clamoring for him.
Yeah, roller derby, great man. You had a fantastic career with the T-Birds, of course, in Los Angeles and the Riot. And now, biggest announcement, I think, of your career, you'll get to hit those big South American countries with Lisa Seltzer's big world tour.
Right. Thank you, Lisa, for picking me to be on this tour. All I know is that the Riot say they don't need me anymore, but I'm going to take this tour, and I'm going to make all kinds of money, and you're going to give me all that money, and I know we're going to do great on that tour.
All right, thank you, and congratulations, Ray, and we'll talk to you later, Lisa. Back to you, Rory.
She's going to give him all that money? I don't blame him for going then. He was a man without a team. We'll be back with the men's second period in a minute. Rory Marcus and Mark, a little Sparky Lloyd back here at Roller Jam Arena. What an announcement. Lisa Seltzer said she wants an old-time skater, a legendary figure. Richard Brown started to adjust his crown. He was so certain it was him, and then it turned out to be Ray.
Yeah, that was a shocker because, let's face it, Richard Brown showed that he could still skate. She goes against Ray Robles, but, you know, you can't knock Ray. He's a great skater, too.
Oh, absolutely. He can skate. He is an old-time star and still has a lot left. Richard Brown, not happy with his old buddy, Ray Robles. Second period, though, about to start. The men are on the track, so let's talk about a key matchup amongst the men before they even get started. And right now, we'll focus on this guy, Posse Shalene. We're about to show you a picture of Posse that I know you will enjoy, Mark.
What do you, I'm married. I get it. You're the single one.
All right, there's Posse out by the pool, I think. Just kind of looking around, you know, thinking things over as you normally would do. But tonight, he better stop this guy because Mo Sanders, we talk about him a lot. He and Jason McDaniel, the two top jammers in the league, put Eric Slopey in that department too. And the Slope Dog will be on the track to try and do as good as Mo if he can. With the scoreboard right now at 15-10 Riot, they better try and stop Mo. But who's the first one off the line when that whistle blows? It's Sanders. And who's right next to him? It's Slopey. And there they go. Two great jammers opening up this second period. Brian Krebs gets out there for the Quakes as well. And Christian Salvia, number 57, in that Riot uniform. And you take a look at the back of the pack and you see Brian Gamble for the Riot. Posse Shalene for the Quakes. I'm surprised Seltzer hasn't gone after Posse just for photo ops, if nothing else. Posse puts a big elbow into Sanders' chest. Meanwhile, the back of the pack, Krebs gets knocked down. And Sanders says, now I'm going to get some help getting through there. Brian Gamble's right there next to him. And Gamble, oh my goodness, Bill Barker, why is he celebrating? He took out his own jammer.
Why is Barker even on the rink? They should just get rid of this guy.
Barker knocked down Posse Shalene, who was doing a great job of stopping the Riot players. And Barker seems to be more trouble than he's worth.
Posse hit the ground hard, too, it nailed the back of his head.
He's so clueless, he celebrated after he knocked Posse down. Now he goes over to the bench to get congratulations. And they all look at him like, what in the hell are you doing out there? 19-10, the Riot have jumped out to a 9-point lead already. And there goes Sanders again, only this time he's double-teamed by Tom Smith and by Slopey. Smith and Slopey are fast on those skates. Sanders maybe a little bit more powerful.
And you know what? When you look at Slopey out there right now, he's got to be number one, number two. Right there is one of the best jammers in the league. I think you'll agree with it.
Top three, put Jason McDaniel in there as well. Travis Wills will be in that group. And right now, Smith and Slopey looking for points, and Atkinson helps them out by knocking down two with one big move. Big play by Sean. And Slopey and Tom Smith go through there and pick up a whole bunch of them. Wow, look at Atkinson.
Atkinson just nailed Mo Sanders. Now he's going to take, oh no!
Twice in the same play. It's like he has a target on his back.
I was about to say that, exactly. Atkinson saw Sanders come around, turn around, went back against the track, and just nailed him just then.
Lisa Seltzer and Ray Robles. I'd rather see Robles on skates than sitting there in the stands wearing a T-shirt, wouldn't you?
I would too. And you know what? Brian Gamble was over there yelling at him too. I mean, nobody wants to see him do this tour.
You know, Robles was a very faithful member of this Riot team before he was in a little fight with King Richard Brown. They never did settle their differences, but you have to figure in his heart, he still thinks of himself as an Illinois Riot.
You would hope so.
8 Quake points. And no Riot points. Richard Brown over there yelling at Ray Robles, and Ray's talking to Lisa Seltzer. She probably, I'll bet you she doesn't know half of what he's saying about the game.
Oh, she doesn't have a clue about the game, Roy. She's somebody with a silver spoon in her mouth.
I never noticed that.
You know what I mean.
19-18, the Riot by 1. Krebs and Smith out there with Mo Sanders. Last jam of this first half, and boy, there's been a lot of action already, hasn't there?
And there's going to be more. You see it just then.
Mo Sanders has gotten rid of 1. Let's see if he can, yes, he can rail 2 in 1 jam. And Posse's back there to block again. He has to watch Sanders and then watch the front of the pack to make sure Barker doesn't come flying through the air to nail him. Shalene grabs a hold of Atkinson, and Atkinson's going to go over there with the trash can. Where's he going? He's going to the top of the penalty cage. Sean Atkinson has to be 20 feet up in the air. And down.
Richard left them hanging, Justin.
And look at Atkinson. He's after Robles. He's in the stands going after Ray. Here come the referees, but they can't stop him.
And you know, King Richard saved himself, Justin. He let Mo Sanders take the garbage can hit.
Atkinson bangs his own head against the rail. Gamble gets up slowly. What a scene over there now between Robles and Brown. Look at them yell at each other.
2 veterans going at it.
It's halftime, and Atkinson has put the exclamation point on this one as Brown backs up and lets Mo Sanders take all of that. We'll be back right after this.
In case you're not up to date on World Skating League current events, check out Roller Jam Rewind.
In the back of my mind, I might be thinking a little bit about the tour, but tonight we're going against the Quakes, and I hate to lose.
For 4 weeks, we've been wondering who Lisa Seltzer was going to take on this tour.
At this time, I'd like to announce the men's team captain, Jason McDaniel. At this time, I'd like to announce the women's team captain, and that is none other than Stacy Blitch.
I'm so happy about this.
You're not going to take the whole team? I thought you were looking for a team. This is not the hot dice team with Stacy Blitch.
This is just the start. We're going to get all of the best skaters in the league.
I don't want to do it, but if the tour is that important to you, I'm going to put Jamie in charge of the girls' team tonight.
If my team doesn't want to go, that's fine. They're missing out on the chance of a lifetime.
It looks like this hot dice team's going to fold. You're screwed, buddy. You're going to have to go back to jail.
I'm not going back to jail. No way, man. I'm not going back to jail.
Where you got Devo? What's he doing?
The contracts our skaters sign are ironclad, Daniel. Their rights to compete as skaters belong to the World Skating League exclusively. Let me make it perfectly clear. No one is going anywhere.
Lisa Seltzer, you made a comment that I'm not a skater. We go out every night in front of all these people and we do one thing. We knock them dead, okay, sister? So pack your little bags and go back to the damn mountain you came from. Goodbye, little bitch.
Well, take a look in the stands, and that's Amy Craig there to the right, just kind of checking her watch and seeing how things are going. Meanwhile, the King has some problems, like how to replace Ray Robles. It seems odd, but countless fans have inquired about what it would be like to be King Richard Brown for a day.
Another great day of being king. Hello? How did Chili Pepper get here? That's Robles.
Apparently, in the WSL, Kings suffer from bouts of paranoia. According to our sources, Richard's completely delusional. He actually believes that former right-hand man Ray Robles is out to get him.
Robles, are you in here? Robles, he can't mess with me in my own castle. What's wrong with that boy?
The king needlessly fired Robles, the one guy who had his back no matter what the situation.
What do you think's wrong with him? My castle, he messing with me and his peppers.
So who could blame Ray for wanting to burn his ex-boss?
No, Gilly! Robles! Ooh!
Maybe Richard should be keeping his eyes open for anything suspicious.
Hey, Richard, what's up?
What? You want an autograph again?
Ah! My eyes! That's gotta be Jelly Bonnet! I know Ray Robles! I've gotta get to... Ray, you had something to do this! I'm gonna get to Ray! I'm gonna get to! I'm gonna get to! My eyes! Where's this spot? I gotta get this out of my eyes! Gotta get it out! Oh, my eyes! My eyes! No! 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 No!
Wake up, King. You're having a nightmare. Wake up.
Oh, you'll never believe the dream I had at Ray. He's been haunting me everywhere I look. Chili peppers!
That's ridiculous, Richard.
No! Not your toe!
If Richard Brown is indeed a little bit haunted by his past relationship with Ray Robles, it's about to get worse, apparently, because we've just gotten word that Richard and Ray have agreed to a match race. Let's get further details from Broadway Danny Wolf.
That's right, we're ready for a 3 laps. Anything goes match race, and a lot at stake here, folks. If Ray wins this match race against his, well, last coach, the King Richard Brown, Ray will be back on the Riot full time, which means you'll be skating on the Riot and you'll still be on the tour. But, Richard, if you defeat Ray, you keep him off the Riot for good, and you will get his contract for the tour?
What do you mean, if? You mean when I whip him? Boys don't play with men. You're going to get the beating of your life. I got rid of you once, I'll get rid of you again. I'm going to take that contract. I'm going on a tour. I'm going to visit all my friends in Japan, South America, Mexico, Australia, Oakland, California, Timbuktu, wherever we go. I am the greatest. I'll always be the greatest. And you will learn to respect the king.
All right, well, there you go. 3 laps, anything goes. Richard Brown against Ray Robles. Back to you, Rory and Mark.
This ought to really be something. King Richard Brown and Ray Robles going at it one-on-one.
And I can't believe King has friends in all those places, including Timbuktu, Rory.
As he explained to us, he is the king of his own domain. Everything he sees. And look at Ray out there in black pants, a white shirt, and Richard Brown's running away from him.
Look at him go. He's going backwards.
The king in his suit and Ray trying to catch him. There's 1 lap in the books. Brown wants to get out there on tour. That includes Oakland, California. And Robles trying to get to him. Oh! He caught him from behind, and when he got a chance, he jumped on him. And now Robles and Brown are in an old-fashioned street fight. Brown gets away for a minute, adjusts his helmet, and over the rail they both go. About a lap and a half left in this thing.
Oh, and right up against us.
Wow. There's no give in this thing either. Robles gets up and chases him toward the stands. And look at him go. They're on the stairs. They're up along the deck now. They're almost up to the cheap seats. Brown is running from him.
And you said it, Roy, it's an old-fashioned street brawl. Oh, right down the stairs.
That had to hurt the King's back. Lisa Seltzer's aghast. One of these 2 guys is going to go on tour. And Robles throws Brown back onto the track. They're both tired. They're both not as young as they were when they were with the LA T-Birds and back in the old days. 2 laps in now and 1 lap to go. The winner goes on tour, and if it's Robles, he's back with the Riot, and he is working over his former boss. And how many of us would love to do that?
No doubt about it. You can tell. Look at the King. He is exhausted right now. He can't even stand up straight.
Robles has gone into his pocket, and as many times as Brown told him to throw chili powder at someone else, the King just got a dose of it in his own eyes. He's trying to skate on, and Robles gives him a shot in the back. Oh! Richard was about to go down, and he jumped over that penalty box.
He can't see with the chili powder. He's just skating anywhere.
Ooh, there's a shot that'll put him out. Robles has pulled it out. The king is on his back once again. Where's Broadway? I told you last week to save the man's life and give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Now do it this time.
Richard, how do you feel?
He's out, Danny.
Do you know where you are, Richard? It's not good.
You're going to have to give him mouth-to-mouth.
Wait, I don't hear his here.
It's not in his stomach.
Mouth-to-mouth?
What are you going to do?
I'm a journalist. I kind of like him. I'm going to save his life.
You have to do it. You have to do it.
What is that?
Oh, he's giving him spray. But just no. His heart didn't stop. Oh my God! Do it again. Do it again. Come on, revive him.
What are you doing?
Stop it! That's enough. That's enough, Daddy. He's all right. He just got mouth-to-mouth from the same guy that had gummy bears and condoms in his pocket when they turned him upside down. That has to feel pretty bad.
Jeff, I'm going to sue you for sexual harassment! Save your life! Save your life!
We've just had a match race where the loser got Broadway Danny Wolf's lips pressed onto his lips. Try not to do the same thing to Ray, Danny.
Oh, man, Rory, I'm still queasy. Ray, congratulations on winning the match race. You're back on the Riot. Does this mean you're now going to skate for the Riot and go on the tour at the same time? What are you going to do, Ray?
Danny, I won the match race, as you can see. I beat the hell out of him. Yes, I am going to be on the Riot because I've always been a Riot. I'm going to tell you what. I'm also going to go on this tour, make all this money, and then I'm going to also take the Riot team with me. I don't care what it takes.
So in other words, you're going to be back in this game. I heard you say, what the heck?
Something's happening. Robles looks back there. Somebody, I'm sure, is behind that.
It's McDaniel.
It sure is.
You know what, Lisa? I am sick and tired about all this talk of what skater from what team's going on this tour. And instead of you picking your own little special team, one skater from this team, one skater from another, I think we should do it the skater way. Now, I think we should have a single elimination round-robin tournament to decide who is the rightful team to go on this tour. And Lisa, if you don't like it, baby, I'm sorry. That's the way it's going to happen.
Well, Jason McDaniel has put the challenge out there for a winning team to go on this tour because he's tired of all the splintering in this league.
Well, good for McDaniel. I'm glad somebody had enough guts to step up to Lisa Seltzer and lay down the law. She shouldn't be doing it right now, and McDaniel just did it. Good for him.
It's been a distraction, that's for sure. Not as distracting to Richard Brown as having Danny give him mouth-to-mouth, but that's a whole different matter. All right, the third period is underway. It's 19-18, the Riot. Stacy Blitch and Jamie Konomak against Gina Lombardo at the moment. And the little wild child, Gina Lombardo, getting a chance to jam some more tonight. Konomak and Blitz join hands as though they are still happy teammates. And Denise Loden and Laura Weintraub just took down Blitz and land on top of her.
Man, that just snuck up on me, Justin. And there's the muffler, Rory. How about that?
So that's the muffler, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they just muffled Blitz's efforts to get any points. She's wearing a target on top of her head, wearing that Malibu helmet, I think.
But that is a good-looking helmet, though. Have you checked it out? It's a pretty cool-looking helmet. I can see you wearing one.
I'm thinking about it. And there she goes. Stacy Blitz jumps right away from that pack and turns around to face her adversaries. What she got in mind, a backflip. Oh, and then a double takedown. Loden and Norma Marshall got knocked down, and I mean hard.
And I guess that's why she's going on the tour, because of moves like that. That was exciting.
Konomak coming up now to the back of the pack, and Blitz won't be able to go now, I guess, unless the rest of the Quakes go. We'll have to get a reaction from Lisa Seltzer whenever we get a chance. Although I hesitate to give her much more mic time, don't you?
Yeah, and I don't want her to have any mic time. I hope they just make the decision for her.
Look at that incredible move. Stacy Blitz hung on to those two blockers, and Konomak went right underneath. Jamie's so excited about it she can't stand up. see that move? Boy, that was incredible. Conomac right through the legs.
And you know what, though? I thought that maybe those two wouldn't have been getting along so good because of the news, but they're really working well.
24-19, the Quakes lead it, and now Denise Loden says, give me that Jammers helmet. She's up on the rail, and she's waiting. She's laying in wait for that move. Big move by Loden, took Blitch and Conomac down, and that frown's turned upside down now for Denise. She's smiling all the way as Gina Lombardo now is the only jammer in position to score any points if she can lap members of the Quakes. Final jam of this women's period. With the crowd kind of yelling her name now. Come on, Gina. And she gets up to the back of that pack. Blitch, Conomac blocking. Weintraub grabs Stacy Blitch by the arm and leads her into another kill by Denise Loden. Twice in the same jam she got him.
And she is one happy girl right now.
Yeah, she's a happy girl, all right, as Lombardo goes through and racks up the points.
That's what it's all about, scoring points, Justin. Lips loaded, coming through for the Riot.
He just knocked Sydney Zimmerman down for no apparent reason other than just to be spiteful. The men are up next. Don't go away. One skating period left to go. A 24-24 tie between the Quakes and the Riot. Ray Robles is back in his Riot uniform. Broadway, Danny Wolf.
Yeah, and Ray, how does it feel to be back in the purple and red of the Riot?
You know what, Danny? It feels great because you know I've always belonged to the Riot. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to help these guys win the game today.
Yeah, where's your chili powder? We saw you good earlier.
Hey, wait.
I feel it.
No, hold on.
The heck is that?
Who's there? Hey, it says, hey, baby, come on here over. I am a Leo, and I enjoy roller derby skating, and if you give me your phone number, what?
How do you go over for that?
It's his pickup line. He left him in the uniform.
Bill Barker forgot. He had his cards in those pants, and it said, hey, baby. My name's Bill. What's yours?
He even needs cards to pick up ladies, Rory?
Well, he doesn't have much in the way of ad-libbing skills. He wore those pants, and Richard Brown put them on and took a look in the pockets, and guess what? They weren't the best lines I've ever heard either.
No.
Christian Salvia out there on the jam. Although, starting with Hey Baby is usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Always gets the ladies.
Yeah, that always works. Salvia out there jamming for the Riot, and Mo Sanders now about to join him from behind. Either that or just wear a crown.
And that lime suit.
Yeah. Bill Barker and Posse Shalene back blocking. Let's hope Barker knows the play. Mo Sanders trying to get through there. Ooh, there's the chili powder. That's always a big play for the Riot. Robles didn't take everything out of his pockets, obviously. And now he has set things up for Gamble, who got a piece of Robles as well.
But that's all right, because he got two Quakes just then. Robles, welcome back to the track.
And look at the King out there surveying the damage. The King has an ice pack on his hand. He must have hurt his finger. He's broken just about every bone in his body at one time or another in this sport. But that right there will give you blindness.
Here we go.
And there they go, 28-24. The Riot up by 4 and only 2 jams left in this game. Ooh, there's a big play. Nice play by Tom Smith of the Quakes. Mo Sanders catches up to Smith. Brian Krebs is there, and Krebs puts Sanders down from behind. That's teamwork. That's great teamwork between Krebs and Smith. Robles goes back to block. And Robles swings those arms and waits, trying to cover the whole track so he can stop 2 jammers at once. He gets one, he gets the other one. But still, he has to do it for another 20 seconds. Can he keep it up? So far, Smith and Krebs haven't gotten by. The young guns against the veteran Robles. Now they start to work him over a little bit. And they set him up for the Ack attack, who pulls Robles down and bangs his shoulder down on the track. The jam is over. Let's see how many they got. 5 Quakes points, and Atkinson never heard the whistle, apparently.
Yeah, right. That's the exclamation point just then.
No, here it comes.
Right, there you go.
Here comes some more right here.
Oh! The Ack attack always out of control, Rory, out there. He's inflicting punishment no matter who. You know, he doesn't discriminate, Roy. He doesn't care who you are.
No, you're not kidding. You are not kidding for a minute. And look at Atkinson grabbed Robles and just bounced him on that track. One jam left. 29-28. Give the wife mouth to mouth. We'll be back in a minute.
To see who will go on your tour, single elimination.
Danny, that's absolutely fine with me. If the teams want to skate to decide who goes on tour, that's great. I mean, I've always said this is not about trash cans, Sean, and violence and sex. This is about good, clean skating.
Yeah, Sean, let me ask you, if the Quakes win this tournament, will you go on the tour?
I'll tell you what, you've been spoiled by your parents, your grandparents, now you're going to get spoiled again, because the California Quakes will compete in the tournament, and we will be number one. But, whoa. But, as I told you before, every team should be allowed to go on the tour. And when the Quakes win, we will renounce the title. We will not skate on your tour unless every team is allowed. And one more thing, sister. You treat skaters like a piece of meat. But I tell you what, I'm prime rib and I'm overcooked. And one more thing, if you take a bite out of this piece of meat, you're gonna choke on it. Oh, Daddy!
Back to you, Rory.
All right, she's not too happy about it. And you know who she's going to be rooting against, don't you? The Quakes. But tonight, the Quakes carry the day. We'll see you next week on Roller Jam.